Welcome to Klepper's Corner weekly wrap-up, where we distill the week's chaos so you don't have to self-medicate much. This week's headlines make the Book of Revelation look like a sitcom script. Let's jump right in. Starting in Beirut, Israel launched an airstrike right into central Beirut. Central Beirut. Folks! Not a dusty border outpost, but smack dab downtown. That's like throwing punches at your neighbor's face instead of just flipping off their mailbox. Israel says it was targeting Hezbollah because nothing says precision strike like blasting a densely packed city and saying, trust us, we totally got the bad guys. Meanwhile, social media blew up faster than, well, central Beirut. Everybody online either called it reckless or cheered it on like it was the new season of Succession. Switching gears, after a dramatic ceasefire meeting in Saudi Arabia, the U.S. is finally resuming military aid to Ukraine. That's right, Uncle Sam, after freezing Ukraine's allowance, has decided to hand over the cash again right after Ukraine agreed to a 30-day ceasefire. It's like grounding your kid for a week, then saying, all right, just behave and you can have your PlayStation back. No word yet from Russia, but Vladimir Putin seems less excited and more, I'll think about it, but only if Ukraine agrees. It's totally cool I stole their stuff. Speaking of cold moves, the latest U.S. jobs report is out, and 151,000 jobs were added. Great news, unless you count the record layoffs. Yep, layoffs hit the highest levels since 2020. That's like saying, hey, you got a raise, but also we're burning down the office. Economists call this a mixed signal. I call it an economic mullet business up front, recession party in the back. Oh, and on trade wars, Trump dropped big, shiny new tariffs on China, Canada, and Mexico, sparking immediate retaliation. Canada's slapping tariffs on billions of dollars in U.S. goods, so expect to pay triple for maple syrup and polite apologies. China's also retaliating, hitting American farmers hard. But hey, Trump promised to support rural America, and nothing says support like collapsing the soybean market. In diplomatic news, Russia's laid out its demands for peace with Ukraine, which is basically like robbing your neighbor's house, then demanding they recognize your right to their TV. Russia wants Ukraine disarmed, neutral, and NATO-free. Basically, they want Ukraine to politely roll over and give them half the yard. Zelensky's response, something along the lines of, sure, we'll consider it right after Putin resigns to open a taco truck. Meanwhile, a terrifying hijacking in Pakistan ended with Pakistani troops rescuing most hostages after Baloch militants seized a train. Militants demanded prisoners released, but Pakistani forces said nope and stormed the train anyway. It ended badly for everyone involved, but especially for train tourism. Next time, maybe just stick to hijacking Twitter feeds. Down in Boca Chica, SpaceX had a tough week. Crew 10 launch, scrubbed, Starship test flight, kaboom. At this point, SpaceX explosions are routine, more reliable than the Wi-Fi at Starbucks. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but Florida now knows how it feels to be Texas, occasionally raining rocket parts. Australia faced Cyclone Alfred, the rare storm hitting Brisbane, bringing floods, wind damage, and massive waves. Locals called it a once-in-50-years event, though these days, climate change deniers call it just another Tuesday. Remember, climate change might not be real to everyone, but flooded basements have no political party. Back in America, federal layoffs reached 250,000 workers. Trump promised to drain the swamp, but apparently the swamp was full of people with actual jobs. Musk's efficiency push is going well if you consider chaos, confusion, and mass unemployment efficient. We're weeks away from Musk automating the entire government with a single malfunctioning Tesla bot. And finally, in India, Holi and Ramadan overlap, causing a logistical tightrope walk between color-throwing Hindus and fasting Muslims. Authorities managed to shift prayer times and cover mosques to keep the peace. That's right, religious harmony by TARP, because nothing says unity like a giant plastic sheet protecting you from your neighbor's festive enthusiasm. That's your weekly wrap-up, folks. Remember, it's chaos out there, but at least we can laugh at it from a safe distance. See you next week.